Welcome back to Mythic Sleep. I'm young Homer, here to guide you into another chapter of the rise and fall of Zeus. Tonight, we arrive at episode 23. Mortals defy the gods. The punishment of Prometheus. In this tale, we witness the consequences of Prometheus's rebellion as he dares to bring fire, symbol of knowledge and power, to humankind, defying Zeus's decree. It is a story of compassion, defiance, and the struggle between mortal ambition and divine will. As we enter this tale of courage and consequence, let yourself settle deeply into the warmth and safety of your bed. Close your eyes if you like, and take a slow, deep breath in, letting it expand through your chest, filling you with calm. And as you exhale, release any tension, allowing your body to grow heavier, sinking further into ease. This is your time to let go, to rest, and to simply be. Let's begin by focusing on the soft rhythm of your breath, each inhale and exhale like gentle waves lapping against a quiet shore. Now, take a slightly deeper breath in, filling your lungs completely, and hold it for a moment. Then, as you exhale, imagine any tightness dissolving, leaving only comfort and warmth. One more time, breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, feel yourself drifting further into relaxation, fully at peace. Now let's guide each part of the body to relax, welcoming calmness with every breath. Start with your forehead, letting it soften as you exhale. Move to your jaw, releasing any tension and allowing it to rest. Now, turn to your shoulders. Inhale gently, and as you exhale, let them fall, as if settling quietly like stones on a riverbank. Allow your arms and hands to grow heavy, resting peacefully at your sides. Notice the steady rhythm in your chest and belly, inhaling as your belly rises, and on the exhale, allowing any last bits of tightness to simply dissolve. Shift to your hips and thighs, letting them sink deeper, fully supported and relaxed. And finally, focus on your calves, feet, and toes, letting them ease completely, grounded and serene. Now, imagine yourself high in the mountains, where the air is thin and the wind whispers across the rocks. In the distance, Prometheus stands bound, his face calm despite his punishment. He gazes out over the world of mortals, the gift of fire glowing in the villages below, a symbol of his defiance and his compassion. The mountain holds a deep, timeless stillness, bearing witness to his sacrifice, a reminder that even the gods cannot suppress the light of human will. With each breath, feel yourself surrounded by this quiet strength, as if the mountain itself lends you its peace. Inhale deeply, letting this strength fill you, and exhale, feeling grounded, steady, and calm. With your body at ease and your mind open, allow the story to carry you into this ancient tale where courage and compassion meet divine judgment. Take one last deep breath in and let it out slowly. Now, let us begin. Since the gift of fire had been granted to them by Prometheus, mortals had transformed their world. They had harnessed fire to light their homes, forge tools, and build cities, growing in knowledge and ambition. Yet, with this newfound power came a sense of independence, a whisper of rebellion that spread through their hearts. Mortals, once solely reliant on the gods for guidance and protection, began to believe they could shape their own fate, a belief that both intrigued and disturbed the gods of Olympus. Zeus watched from Olympus as mortals grew bolder, their prayers less frequent, their respect for divine authority waning. This change troubled him deeply. The balance between gods and mortals, carefully maintained, was now under threat. While fire had given humans strength, it had also sown the seeds of pride and defiance. And at the root of this defiance was Prometheus, the Titan who had dared to challenge Zeus and empower humankind. Prometheus's act of rebellion had not gone unnoticed. Though Zeus had previously bound the Titan in chains as punishment, he realized that this punishment had failed to curb the influence Prometheus held over mortals. The whispers of independence among mortals grew louder with each passing day, and Zeus knew he needed to make an example that would resonate through the ages, a reminder of the consequences of defying the gods. Calling upon his council, Zeus's voice thundered through the halls of Olympus. Prometheus has not only defied my will, but has encouraged mortals to challenge our rule. His actions have disrupted the balance between gods and humanity, and he must face a punishment that will remind all who look to Olympus that defiance comes at a cost. Though some gods felt sympathy for Prometheus, they understood the severity of the situation. If mortals could defy the gods without consequence, it would only be a matter of time before other acts of rebellion followed. With a heavy heart, Zeus resolved to make an example of Prometheus, to demonstrate the unbreakable strength of divine authority. Under Zeus's command, Prometheus was brought to a remote mountain peak, the harshest, most desolate summit in the mortal realm. Here, bound in unbreakable chains forged by Hephaestus, Prometheus would face an endless torment. Each day an eagle, the sacred bird of Zeus, a symbol of divine punishment, would descend upon the Titan, tearing into him, consuming his liver, which would regenerate each night, subjecting him to unending agony. As the chains tightened around him, Prometheus looked defiantly toward Olympus, his gaze unyielding despite the torment that awaited him. Though his body would suffer, His spirit remained unbroken, his heart filled with the knowledge that he had empowered humankind, that he had given them a spark that could never be extinguished. Zeus watched from Olympus as the punishment began, the sight a grim reminder to all who would challenge the authority of the gods. Prometheus's suffering was not just retribution, it was a message, one that Zeus intended to echo through both the heavens and the mortal world. As news of Prometheus's punishment spread, mortals were struck with fear and awe. The suffering of the Titan who had gifted them fire and knowledge weighed heavily on their hearts, a sobering reminder of the gods' power and their capacity for retribution. Yet, in the quiet corners of the world, mortals began to question Zeus's decision, wondering if justice had truly been served. While some mortals returned to the gods with renewed reverence, others were emboldened by Prometheus's sacrifice, their respect for him deepening. They saw him as a symbol of courage, a being who had endured unimaginable pain to grant them the tools of progress. Though fearful, they held on to the gift of fire with an even greater appreciation, determined to honor Prometheus by advancing their own lives and communities. Zeus observed this response with a wary eye, noting that while Prometheus's punishment had subdued the majority, a small faction of mortals now revered the Titan as a martyr. Though he had achieved his purpose in instilling fear, Zeus knew that the spirit of rebellion lay dormant within humanity, waiting for a moment to rise once again. As the gods witnessed the effects of Prometheus's punishment, they gathered to discuss the future of their relationship with humanity. Some, like Athena, questioned the wisdom of such severe punishment, fearing that it would foster resentment rather than respect among mortals. Mortals are unlike us, she said thoughtfully. They are driven by curiosity, by a desire to shape their own destinies. While they may fear us now, we must consider the consequences of ruling solely through power. Hestia, the goddess of the hearth, agreed, her voice gentle yet filled with wisdom. Perhaps there is room for compassion, even as we assert our authority. Mortals look to us for guidance, not only for fear of retribution, but for hope and inspiration. But Zeus, firm in his stance, reminded them of the delicate balance they maintained. Prometheus's actions threatened that balance, encouraged mortals to believe they could exist without us. If we are to govern, they must understand that we are not equals, that the gods are protectors, rulers, and guides of this world. To blur that line is to invite chaos. The gods fell silent, each feeling the weight of Zeus's words. They understood the need for order, but recognized the complexity of ruling beings as independent and ambitious as mortals. The punishment of Prometheus was a reminder to them all of the cost of divine authority, a cost that would forever shape their relationship with the mortal world. As days turned to years, Prometheus's suffering became a legend among both gods and mortals. His name was whispered in reverence, his sacrifice honored as a symbol of defiance against oppression. Mortals, though bound by fear, carried a spark within them that could not be quelled. The fire of Prometheus lived on, fueling their innovation, creativity, and will to thrive, even under the watchful eyes of the gods. For the gods of Olympus, the legacy of Prometheus's punishment served as a warning and a lesson. They knew that humanity's independence would continue to grow, that mortals would always seek to push the boundaries placed before them. Prometheus's act had planted a seed that no amount of divine punishment could fully uproot, a seed that would grow into humanity's relentless drive to shape their own fate. As he watched over the world from Olympus, Zeus could not ignore the impact of Prometheus's defiance. While he felt justified in enforcing divine order, he understood that mortals, like the Titan who had gifted them fire, possessed a strength of spirit that could not be easily subdued. Though Prometheus remained bound, his legacy had woven itself into the fabric of humanity, and Zeus knew that he had set into motion forces that even he could not fully control. The punishment had upheld divine authority, yet it had also revealed the complexity of rule, the challenge of maintaining balance without quelling the spirit of those they governed. Zeus's gaze drifted to the mortal world, his mind filled with a mixture of pride, caution, and a faint trace of unease. For in the hearts of humanity, he saw the echo of Prometheus's defiance, a reminder that true power was both an honor and a burden, a challenge that would test the gods as much as it tested mortals. Though Prometheus remained bound, and mortals continued their lives under the gods' watchful gaze, an unspoken tension lingered between Olympus and the world below. The fire that had once symbolized power now embodied humanity's resilience, a resilience that would forever remind the gods that their authority was not beyond question. The bond between mortals and gods, delicate and complex, had been altered, reshaped by the defiance of one Titan and the courage of those he had empowered. Zeus's rule endured, Olympus's authority was secure, yet the gods knew that Prometheus's punishment was only the beginning. Mortals, with their newfound knowledge and spirit, would continue to test the boundaries of divine rule, seeking a future that lay beyond the reach of any single power, divine or mortal. But Zeus's trials were far from over. As humanity grew, their defiance would reach new heights, leading to transgressions that threatened the very fabric of the world. Join us in the next episode as Zeus faces a choice that will cleanse the earth, bringing about a flood that will change the course of history and reveal the lengths he will go to preserve the balance of creation. Until we meet again, may your path be filled with peace, strength, and a touch of magic. I'm young Homer, and I look forward to our next story together.